How's it going, everybody? So I want to talk about a little bit into how to move through difficult and kind of stagnant energies, and things that you can do to kind of shift your perspective or state of consciousness, before you get too far deep into it. So a lot of stuff has been kind of happening, but not really happening. It's almost like the world is going through the shift in consciousness more rapidly, I guess, but at the same time, it feels very kind of similar when it comes down to the external world, but on the inside, it feels like everything is changing really, really quickly. Like we're purging out a whole bunch of, toxins of our system. And what I mean by that is like spiritual toxins or mind toxins or poisons of the mind, basically. And this comes out through maybe emotional kind of like roller coaster or emotional waves that become more and more intense through the kind of more that you go into it, the more that you start to feel around everything. So like for me, what I've been experiencing is my heart chakra has been opening in more and more, and I've been literally chanting like all day, like every day, and I've been walking for like 20 miles, like 15 to 20 miles or so a day. And it's been really interesting because like I have an urge to make these videos, but at the same time, like all I want to do, because it feels so good, is to do chanting all day. And that's something that has kind of within the past little bit, maybe like month or so, has really like turned on for me. And I didn't really know that it was going to be that powerful either. Like, I mean, you never know what's going to happen with yourself, but like for me, I started doing it, and then all of a sudden I would start crying and I would start having these huge emotional releases and things like that. So like this has been a really powerful way for me personally to let go of a lot of bottled up emotions and things like that. Other things that you can do is also with other people too. It's like really, it's even more powerful when you do it with other people. And you can actually connect deeply with people through, and it's not just chanting. It can also be like, I'm speaking from the throat chakra. So I'm trying to show people how to use their heart in order to access their throat so that they can speak to the universe and experience what it is that they want to experience through whatever method that I've tried. I've also experienced, my throat chakra in different ways too, meaning before all this stuff started happening with the chanting, I was having really powerful experiences as well through just, through dancing. That's one thing. Movement, obviously, like, walking around and then doing the barefoot thing, but like movement, through walking as well. Basically just getting the body going. So it's like, if you sit inside all day long, first of all, if you don't get sunlight during the day, then you're bound for depression, basically. Like, because the body and the mind needs sunlight in order to be able to function correctly. And so that's the first thing that you can do, is to get more sunlight, to go outside more, to get next to trees and nature as well, and water if possible. Running water will pull stagnant negative energies away from you. Like if you like sit on top of a bridge or something like that, or like on a bridge, or like if you sit next to a river or put your feet into a river or something like that, if you have the ability to, then that flowing energy will pull the negative energies away from you and downstream, and it'll basically just it'll revitalize you in a way that you didn't really know was possible. And it's like they talk about how you can cleanse your energy using all the elements, right? So it's like, for me, the element of fire particularly has been in my bedroom, and I've been burning incense constantly. It's like when I started doing that, then I started noticing such a huge shift in the energy that like the literal inside of the room was glowing after like a week of doing that constantly and invoking energies into the room. And the specific brand that I've been using is called Satya, Satya, and it's the ones from Bangalore in India. And it's they're a little bit more expensive than the other ones, but they're worth it because they're really good. My favorites that I've tried so far has been the white musk and the black champa, and I like the super hit, but it's not my favorite, and the white sage as well, and the blue sage, and those have helped a lot to cleanse the energy of the room. And granted, the white sage and the blue sage do not smell like what they're supposed to smell like, and I didn't particularly like the Palo Santo, even though I love the smell of Palo Santo sticks. So you have to be careful when it comes down to that kind of stuff too. But yeah, so burning incense inside of the room helps a lot to reset the energy. What's another thing that I've been doing? I've been doing switching from watching videos on YouTube to finding some other thing to do, like reading a book, or disconnecting from social media. Not posting social media, but like disconnecting from the mundane aspects of social media. So like literally, if you're gonna be on YouTube, then don't watch the shorts, okay? I mean, I'm not telling you not to do that, but like I have a feeling that 90% of the shorts that are on YouTube are just meant to take your attention away from whatever is happening in the external environment, and to literally like suck you in to a thing. It's just like TikTok. And I've had literally like a bunch of people tell me to post videos on TikTok as well, which I may start doing that, just, you know, to appease people or whatever. They all said that the chanting that I do brings them extreme emotions. Like a lot of people that I've been chanting with in person will start to cry, and they'll start to have big emotional and energetic releases because I tap into that state. And it's like, once you realize that when you hold a specific energy, you can actually shift the energy of the entire environment around you. And depending on how powerful that energy is for you, is how powerful the shift will be for everybody around you. So if you're sitting in a state of deep, deep unconditional love, which is what I get to from doing Sri Ram, Jai Ram, JJ Ram for, you know, hours at a time. And eventually I get to the point where I'm just like, I'll be walking, and then I'll literally feel the presence next to me, and I'll look over and I'll see the sun there. And then the sun is like the essence of Ram. I don't know how to explain it. It's like it gives off unconditional love and light. And Ram, I know, is projected as a deity per se, but these deities are not like the way that you think that they are. They are something that is an energetic essence. Like it flows through things, and it's an energy that is transcendent of the human ego, meaning like when it flows through you, then you either break down or you break through. And when you do break down, then you end up breaking through. And what I mean by break down is that you'll like start weeping or anything, but it feels amazing. It feels like a release. Like it's like the same thing as a baby weeping as a child. Like it's not the same as what you think it was. Like I know that parents sometimes when they see their baby crying, they think that their baby is in pain, but actually it's like one of the most, like I had this experience for myself where I started crying to the point where it felt like I was an infant, and it felt like I was being loved by the most loving mother I've ever felt. And like as that was happening, what happened was that I got this intuitive kind of hit that like this is what it's like for an infant to cry. Like it's not a negative thing when an infant cries until the mother starts to project that onto the child, and then it becomes maybe, it's not even a negative experience at that point, because it's like the infant doesn't have an ego at that point. Like it doesn't have an ego yet. So when it experiences these emotions, they're all experienced as love. And it's very powerful to recognize that. Also to see that you can actually go back into your past and re-experience your childhood before you even had an ego, and you can literally like experience what it's like to release everything and be an infant in an adult body. Like you feel as though you're a baby, but you're in an adult body, and you're just kind of like being caressed and loved by this like force that is ineffable. I know this is an interesting kind of a thing. These are all just methods that I've been using or whatever. And then also mantra, I've already talked about that on here. And then what's another thing? I can go into a little bit about the earth changes that I've been experiencing, because I skipped over that. So the changes that I've been experiencing have been a collective shift in consciousness, where the old patterns of experience are starting to purge themselves out in different ways. So what I mean by that is that the patterns that we've gotten used to were either, and this is for people